Hello! Hi everybody. This is the Christel Crawford Show, and I'm your host. And today we are talking about, hey you, how much are you willing to receive? So, hi Liga, hi guys. This topic really came out of a whole bunch of things. I've been looking at money a lot lately. I kind of always look, I say that I've been looking at money a lot lately, and that's like my constant state. So I think I'm just, this is the new iteration of looking at money as of today, whatever day it is. But I'm also starting a 10-month journey that I'm calling Become Money. And one of the things that I've wanted to create for a really, really long time, and hi all of you guys that are joining. If you have any friends, by the way, that you think could use some money tools, please share this because this is going to be super helpful. So I started a 10-month journey called Become Money that you're invited to starting this Sunday. So today's Monday, this Sunday. If you're watching this in the future, check my website and see if it's available. But so I was looking at what I could create to invite you guys to the possibility that I know is available to all of us. So money for me, and I'm just going to briefly, money for me has been a topic and a thing that I have changed numerous times in the last, probably my whole life, but definitely in the last 3 to 4 years. I've upside down, backwards, and sideways, and up, and I've done it all. So it gets to a point for me every once in a while, here and there, where I want to deepen I don't know what you call it, deepen the transformation of where I'm functioning from with money, where really I want to be able to be more of me and receive more and know what I know and perceive. My demand personally is to function from the higher harmonics of being that we talk about a lot in foundation class with Access Consciousness. So the lower harmonics of being are thoughts and feelings and emotions and sex and no sex, and if you have questions about that, let me know. And the higher harmonics of being are being, knowing, perceiving, and receiving. Well, that's great in theory, and so many of the Access Consciousness tools for me basically Access Consciousness tools are concepts and theories until you actually start to get them. And being and knowing and perceiving and receiving as money, being money, has been this ongoing unfolding of what that really means and what that be like. What I will tell you today, what I know for certainty, is that you're the source of your reality. You're the source. You're the source of everything that's showing up now, and you're the source of everything that you can change and choose. So there's a lot of places we can go with this topic, and that's part of the reason I'm going to do 10 months of it. And the 10-month thing is going to be like a How to Become Money workbook class every single month. And then during the weekdays, you're going to have a 20-minute live class with me, and we are going through all the money books, every single one of them. We're going to go through Right Riches for You. We're going to go through Getting Out of Debt Joyfully, the Advanced Money Workbook, oh my God, we have so many. Money's Not the Problem, You Are, The Penny Capital, all of them. All the books are going to contribute, all of my awareness as I'm recreating and re-energizing my business and everything that I'm doing, all the things. So, to give us a really different place to function from. And this is the thing about money. This is when you're functioning from lies about money, and there's so many lies about money, that you need it, that you lack, that you can't, that it's hard. I mean, literally just let it come out of your mouth 99% of the time. Unless you're talking about how capable you are, it's a lie. If you're talking about how amazing you are, how capable you are, how money's easy for you, then it's light and you're not lying to yourself. But every single other thing pretty much that comes out of your mouth or out of your head is pretty much a lie. So that's what I love about the How to Become Money workbook, is that it invites you to being that. But what I keep looking down because I'm looking at my laptop, and there's a taster class that you can facilitate as a bars facilitator in Access Consciousness called How Much Are You Willing to Receive? And it's based on the book Money's Not the Problem, You Are. So we were in this workbook the other day, and I was just like, I want to do a show on this of like, how much are you willing to receive? Because that's kind of an incendiary question. You could take it and you could get offended about it. You could take it personally, or you could go, how much am I willing to receive? You know, am I willing to receive a little bit? Am I willing to receive a lot? Am I willing to receive less than 0%? Am I willing to receive less than minus 100%? How much am I actually willing to receive? And So I'm gonna just kind of use the manual as I'm not gonna read it because I don't wanna. But I want to tell you a story today. I want to tell you a quick story that happened today that has nothing to do with money, that has everything to do with money. So I was chatting with a friend of mine, and we were just chatting, and she was asking me how things were, and I was talking and things, and I said one thing, she said another thing, and in the next moment, hi Maggie, hi Natalie, I was weird. In the next moment, I was weird. I was mad. She hadn't like punched me in the face or stolen my wallet or, told me I was fat. We were just talking. She said a thing, and then I was mad. Now, listen, here, just a little info on mad that may not have anything to do with money. When you get mad, you got to ask some questions. One of the questions that I ask myself immediately when I get mad like that is, what's the lie here? Is there a lie here, spoken or unspoken, yes or no? Yes, okay, what's the lie? So with this mad, I went and started looking into her world to see if I had bought a lie. Was she being a lie? Like what happened? None of that made it lighter for me. Now, here is how you know you're getting to the thing you're functioning from. When you identify it and everything gets lighter. If you're looking for where you're functioning from with money, for example, and you think it's this and you think it's that and it's got to be this and you've decided it's that, but it doesn't get any lighter, you're just telling yourself lies and you're perpetuating lies and you're solidifying lies, okay? And that's not to make you wrong, that's just what's happening. So with this thing today, I just kept, hi Alicia, hi Miriam, I love you guys. So with this thing, I just kept wondering, so what's the, so is there a lie? Yes. Okay, so what's the lie? So I started looking at that moment where I got mad, and I was like, oh, the instant that I shut her off and got mad was the instant I judged myself completely for whatever had occurred in that interaction. So the moment that I started judging myself, and as I acknowledged this, as I saw it and I perceived it and I acknowledged it, everything went, oh. The moment I started judging myself, I couldn't even hear anything she was saying. Nothing could get in because I was judging myself. Nothing. How much are you willing to receive? In that moment, fuck all. I wasn't willing to receive me. 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 And anytime anything has ever been or felt impossible for me to change, it's been that I am not willing to receive me. I wasn't willing to receive the information in that second that I had judged myself. I wasn't willing to receive that I thought I was wrong. I wasn't willing to receive that I wasn't wrong. I just wasn't willing to receive any of it. I just shut it off, and then I got mad. So the lie that I was aware of was the lie I was telling myself, which is that I was wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm just choosing stuff. You're not wrong. You're just choosing stuff. That's always true. It doesn't matter what it is. You could have murdered somebody last night in your sleep and that would still be true about you. You're not wrong. You're just choosing stuff. But the moment you make yourself wrong, that instant, you've cut off all of your receiving. Why? Because you're not receiving you at all. Whatever it was that tripped that judgment of you, in you, you've made that more real than the gift that you are. Instantly. And look, I'm so glad Dane's doing a telecall called Stop It, because what I'm hopeful is that will create a space for all of us where we can actually go, yeah, stop it. Now, sometimes you got to go in and you got to kind of find out what occurred. Like, what actually occurred here? Oh my God, I told myself a lie that I was wrong for doing this thing. So how many lies are you using to keep yourself in the perpetual wrongness of you in regards to money are you choosing? And everything that is times a godzillion. Will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Holy shit, you guys. How many lies are you using? So every single time that you function from necessity, and listen, if you guys aren't already in my group, the Awareness Challenge, I'm inviting you. There's a link up above my head. It's free. This whole week, I'm doing seven days. Every single day I'm getting on live. There's a link you can click and get 7 clearing loops. Seven's a theme. And but those clearing loops are epic. And what they start to do is they start to unravel all this unconsciousness. If you're functioning from judgment of you, you're functioning from unconsciousness. And if you're not willing to even look at it, that's you're putting more evil into the world. Every time you judge yourself, you're putting more evil into the world. So not only do you not get money when you judge yourself, but you put more evil into the world. Stop it. Stop it right now. So this is where we've got to start to become really great facilitators of ourselves and really go, how much of me am I actually willing to receive? A little bit, none, a megaton, 30%. Okay, cool. So what is it going to take to expand the receiving of me? Well, what would you have to be willing to know about you to really fully receive you? When I started looking at this, I thought, listen to those words, I thought that I had to be willing to receive how deep down, I was secretly fucked up. And I still go through this, you don't even know it till you know it. That's what I thought I had to be willing to receive, the ugly about me. And in the beginning, that was true because I was resisting what I had decided was ugly about me, which was making it true. So I started receiving the ugly about me. I'm a cunt. I'm judgmental. I'm mean. All these things that I thought were true about me. But once all of those things started losing their charge, meaning, I was like, okay, I'm a cunt. Now I'm like, whatever. I started discovering that what I was really not willing to receive about me was how great I was. And that continues to be the case today. And Kathy said it's getting that in the split-second moment. I have to catch myself and make another choice. Yeah, and you won't always catch yourself, and that's okay. But you catch yourself when you catch yourself. And when you catch yourself, just go, well, how many lies am I using to create this? How many lies am I using to create this? And everything that is right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. It's okay. I mean, listen, y'all, I've been judging myself so well for 2.6 billion years, so, it's going to take a minute to develop a new practice. It's so instant. It's so instantaneous. It's like our judgment is our automatic pilot system. So let's do this. So what have we made so real, vital and valuable and real about judgment as the source of creation of money that keeps us from being, knowing, perceiving, and receiving what would actually create it? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy it and create it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all land, shorts, boys and beyonds. And that is the clearing statement. For those of you that are new to that, you can go to theclearingstatement.com and get a description of it. But yeah, so one of the things that this little manual does, and listen guys, for all of you guys that are bars facilitators, you can facilitate this little taster class on money. So one of the best gifts you can give yourself is to facilitate. If you are struggling with money, go start facilitating money classes. I don't care if you're an access consciousness facilitator or a normal person or a not normal person. Start facilitating around the topics that you want more of, that you'd like to be different. You do not, one of the biggest lies we buy is that we have to have it together, whatever that means, whatever we've decided that means, in order to be a light in the world. Nah. You're just a light. You're already a light. So all you gotta do is go walk somewhere so you can shine on something. That's it. And the more you facilitate around these topics that you feel like you're struggling with or you think you're fucked up with, the more you're going to discover how great you really are. But I won't tell you that too much because you might hate me. Okay, so, and I'm just looking down at the manual here. So one of the main excuses for not doing the things we'd like to do in life that no one can argue with, and by the way, when you say this, nobody can argue with you when you say this, is I don't have the money. Are you going to be going to that class? If you say, no, I don't have the money, nobody can say fuck all to you. So that makes it it's a great tool if you want to just be left alone and in wherever you're at with creating money. Nobody can argue with that. So what if you could move out of that mindset of lack? What if it was possible to move out of, no, I don't have the money, into, well, I'd really like to go. I'm going to go. What's it going to take for me to go? Do you notice that in that string of 3 questions/statements that there was a choice in there? 1, there was an acknowledgement of, I really would like that. The 2 was like, I'm having that. I'm choosing that. 3 was, what's it going to take for that to show up? And what can I be or do to contribute to it? So you've got the acknowledgement of it's something you would really like. Almost like, oh yeah, I would like that. Okay, cool. What is it going to take? Which is inviting the universe to contribute. Guess what you have to do when the universe contributes? Receive. And guess how things show up when the universe contributes? In all kinds of ways. In ways that you can never predict, never control, never anything. The universe is very uncontrollable. But the one thing you can know about the universe is that the moment you choose something, it goes to work on your behalf. You have to be willing to receive that. So what would it take to expand your receiving? What is that? What question can you be or ask that would expand what you can actually receive? So one of the things this manual has you do is it has you name some of the points of view that you have about money. And if you guys are kind of new to, or this feels new and you're in a new place, start writing down, what are my current points of view about money? Make a list, get a journal, get some pens. My pens are over there. Deep dive into this. Because listen, y'all, money is one of the biggest invitations to being all of you. Money doesn't actually have anything to do with paying your bills. Your bills exist because you like to live that way. If you lived in the forest, you wouldn't have bills. But you have bills because you like to live a certain way. So, I forget where I was going with that. But, so, there's no actual need. I want to live this way, so I require money. So what can I be or do to have it? What can I ask for? Blah, blah, blah. Ooh, I don't know what I did, but I left my... Ooh, hold on, hold please. Okay. Okay, so where it goes in the manual is, I've said this 18,000 times before, you've heard this a million times, your point of view creates your reality. Your point of view creates your reality. So this house is a great example. I'm currently living in a house in Blue Ridge, Georgia. I don't love this house, I'm grateful that I have a roof. I'm grateful that I'm staying with somebody who adores me. I'm grateful that it's in the middle of the woods. I don't love the house. It's just real. It's not pretty. It's not light enough for me. It's not big enough. I want marble countertops. It doesn't have that. It's kind of cold and hot and, Okay, cool. So I could have one point of view about this house that I'm wrong because I'm living here and I'm not currently choosing the thing that I would really like to choose. That would be one point of view. I could have another point of view that I'm so grateful for this house and I'm so grateful for the care that's being taken of me, and I feel obligated now to stay in this house because. That's another point of view. I could go, okay, cool, I have a house I'm living in right now. I wonder what I could add to my life that would make it worth living. That's another point of view. So all of those points of view would create something completely different. I remember the pastor, I don't know, whatever pastor I had at the time, talked about how when you shoot a bow and arrow at a target, here's my bow and arrow thing. Can you tell that I've done this in so many lifetimes? One microscopic, and this is the same with a bullet, so one microscopic move to the left or to the right creates a completely different trajectory for that arrow. So it's the same with points of view. So whatever point of view you have is what's creating your reality. So for example, if you have the point of view, and I just did a video in the group that's right up there in the link above, I just did a video on, are you functioning with money from necessity or choice? But if you've got a point of view that you need money or you need to have no money, that's a secret, hidden, covert, unseen, unacknowledged, invisible, unsaid point of view. I need to have no money? What? If you're functioning from that, you're going to be creating it all over the place. So that's how it works, okay? So if you're willing to change your point of view, you can change anything. Now, sometimes you're going to get to a point of view that you didn't know you want to hold on to. How will you know that? So you may dive into this exercise of writing down your points of view about money and discover, I don't know, you may discover one. You'll look at it and you'll be like, I don't want to let that go. That's true for me. Every single point of view that you hold on to just limits you, but you might find some that you really like. And that's when you just go, well, I really like that one, so I'm going to keep that and see how that goes. But even that creates a little more freedom than what you were functioning from before, because that you're functioning from allowance now. Now you're just like, oh, well, I have a point of view. I like it. I'm keeping it. And I've had to do a lot of that with myself lately. I have a lot of facilitator friends, and lately I haven't really wanted a lot of facilitation. I went through a phase in the last 3 months where I wanted a lot of facilitation. I was like, any conversation I would get into with anybody, I'd be like, yeah, ask me questions. I'm in a phase right now where I don't really want a lot of facilitation. I don't, and if I do, I'll ask you, and otherwise, don't facilitate me. Am I wrong? Am I just choosing? So this is from the book, Money's Not the Problem, You Are. The biggest thing you're unwilling to receive is how incredibly great you are. When you start receiving the greatness of who you are, everything in your life starts to change, including your money. I'm talking, that is as simple as it gets. The moment that you begin to receive how incredibly great you really are, everything starts to change, including your money. And I will tell you, in the last week or so, I have been walking around in my life just so much me. Just so much me. There's almost no words for it. Just being. And I'm going to just being. That's everything. And I just know. I'm walking around in my life and I just know. I know I'm going to create money. I know money's going to show up. I know that I'm going to create everything I desire. I know that it might take a minute, but I just know. That's being and knowing and perceiving and receiving. Hi, Maxie. And that just came from choice. Now, that did come from like a lot of other mini choices along the way, but like I just know. And that's me receiving the greatness of who I truly am. There's no significance to it. It's not a brain thing. It's not like I'm walking around going, what would it take to receive how great I really am? Although I did start last year in December and I started to ask the universe to show me the wonderfulness of me. Because it was something I didn't even realize that I wasn't willing to know. I'm like, okay, well, show me. What's the wonderfulness of me? I had a particular person who kept saying how wonderful I was, and I was like, fuck off. Okay, so show me. So you can start to ask, universe, will you show me the greatness of me? Show me. I really don't get this. I always get mad about not having enough money sometimes, but I don't know what gets me there. Yeah, well, I always get mad about not having enough money. You know what I would look at is how many feelings am I using to create the no money I keep choosing? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate all that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. How many feelings am I using to create the no money I keep choosing? And everything that is right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Try that, Miriam, see what changes. By the way, you guys, there's a clearing loop. The Christel Crawford Show now has a clearing loop club. So every single one of these episodes, including today's, I'm going to pause after the show. Well, first I'll do another live, create a clearing loop for you, and I send it out to the people that are in the club. It's free for 30 days, and then $19 a month if you like it, and you get a new loop every single week from this show. So if you're interested in that, PM me and I'll send you the link. So the biggest thing you're unwilling to receive is how incredibly great you are. When you really start receiving the greatness of who you truly are, everything in your life starts to change, including your money. The willingness to perceive and receive yourself differently is the beginning of creating what you truly desire in life. That's the beginning. That's the place where you have to start. And that's what all of the money tools in Access Consciousness invite you to do, is to perceive and be and receive who you truly are in a completely different way. So here's a great question in the workbook. It goes, if you were living the life that you would truly like to live, what else would you like to add to it? That was one of the awarenesses that I got with this place here. Like, I could just add a condo in Atlanta. I could have both if I wanted. I could have even more than that if I wanted. What would I like to add to my life? If I didn't have to go into judgment about things of like, well, I don't like that, and I don't, by the way, if you don't like something, that's judgment. I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that. Which is funny, because as humanoids, that's sort of how we sort out what we really do want to have. We're like, well, I know what I don't want. But we go into a lot of like, I can't do that, so I'll do this. We go into a lot of either or universe. And that's when you're in this reality. You're no longer creating from choice, you're creating from judgment. Okay? So, do I love this house? No, that's awareness. Do I have to be mad at this house? No, it's a gift. So one of the things I started asking myself is like, well, what contribution is this house to my life, my living, and my reality? That's a tool from Chapter 10, No Exclusion in the 10 Keys to Total Freedom. What contribution is blank to my life, my living, and my reality? Here's another thing you can do with money. What contribution is no money to my life, my living, and my reality? and everything that doesn't allow that to show up, right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds, and what contribution is excluding no money to my life, my living, and my reality, and everything that is, right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So that set of clearings will start to unravel the flip side of the same coin, where you're constantly doing either or. Well, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to work with those people. Those people are ridiculous. I don't like those people. Stupid. You end up with one friend on a hilltop in a house on a hill, which is fine. And is that choice, are those choices actually creating the life you'd like to have? Is that what can I add to my life, or is that pulling things away until you have the only thing that seems to feel right? So there's a very different possibility available with this question of, like, if you were living the life you would truly like to live, what else would you like to add to it? And I like asking, like, who or what can I add to my life that would make it worth living? Because that make it worth living phrase for me lately was something I really forgot about. And also, like, the celebration of living. When there's been, I just came through a time where I was really, really, really in somebody else's reality with money. And I did a video about it. You guys probably saw it, like, are you struggling with money? And I realized the other day that I had completely forgotten about the celebration of living in that. The celebration of living had become completely irrelevant. How do you celebrate living when you aren't making any money? You just do. You just choose it. How do you celebrate living? You just start looking around you and going, wow, have you seen the, like, it's just start somewhere, start anywhere. Have you seen those trees out there? I wonder what it'd be like to go sit under one of them. I wonder, like, there's a table right out there. Do we have any, like, plastic cups that we could go, like, just pull in? Do we have any lemons? Can we make lemonade and sit out there in the trees? Like, you just start somewhere. And guess what that does? That changes the energy that you're being. And all of a sudden, possibilities seem possible. Things don't feel so heavy. And guess what your reality is? The one that's lighter. But you've got to begin where you are. You've got to begin to start to choose things that actually change the energy for you. And that'll show up differently for all of you. Maybe it's getting your bars run. If you don't know what bars are, please message me. Maybe it's having lemonade under the trees. Maybe it's playing with your kids or playing with your dog. It doesn't matter, but something to change the energy. And then, okay, what could I choose to have money? 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 Is it true that I'm not capable? Nah. Is it more true that I'm capable? Yeah. Okay. Well, what could I choose to have money? And then you begin to receive from everything around you in that moment. That receiving begins, being begins, knowing begins, perceiving begins. And you just stay as those questions. Don't try to come to a conclusion about it. Don't try to make it solid. Just stay as those questions and stuff will start to show up. We often don't think to ask for what we desire. Universe, what would it take for a beautiful place to live, another place to live to show up? What would it take? We assume we can't have it, don't deserve it, don't need it, can do without it, and all of those are lies. All of them. Guess how I know? What's light for you is true for you, and what's heavy is a lie. Okay, so when you look at, we assume we can't have it. Is can't have it light? We assume we don't deserve it. Is don't deserve it light? We assume we don't need it. I don't need another house. I have a house. Is that light? Nah. We assume we can do without it. We assume that if we want more, then we're ungrateful. We assume so many different things. We assume we can't, we mustn't, we shouldn't, we don't need it, we do need it, we can't have it, we don't. The points of view around this are completely, like, there's so many. So, I'm going to go over time if I keep talking. I hope this was a contribution, and if it was, I would be so grateful if you would share it. And I want to invite you to the group up above, first of all. So if you aren't yet in that group, I'd like to invite you. I don't make it ridiculous. I make it really fun. I don't really like being in bunches of groups, so I'm pretty particular about what happens in mine. And I want everything that happens in there to contribute to you. And if you're curious about a 10-month journey, I want to invite you to go to my website and just check out Become Money. And other than that, I'm just so grateful for you, and I'm so grateful that we're here creating more consciousness together. All consciousness is shining the light on. And once you are able to shine the light on where you're functioning from, that's when you can make another choice. You always have another choice. You always have another choice. You always have another choice. Okay? So I adore you. Share the love, and I will see you again next week.